Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto. Today, guys, we have a lot of exciting news to cover. First and foremost, Walmart, one of, if not the largest retailers in the entire world, and in fact, the largest employer in the entire world, with over 1.2 million employees, their global chief technology officer, a position that's only been around for 3 years, that officer just came out and made some very exciting announcements about what he sees as the future of Walmart and Bitcoin cooperation, along with the broader cryptocurrency industry. We've also got some interesting news coming out of Coinbase. As you guys may have seen in the news, some users of Coinbase over in the Republic of Georgia made thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars off of a glitch, and Coinbase is threatening to sue them. We're going to talk about that and whether or not that is really all that great for their PR coming up a little bit later. We're also going to be talking about the Bitcoin market, how I think that we are very close to a major decision point, major breakout here on Bitcoin, what that's going to look like when that does inevitably happen. I think we're going to see a major shift from a lack of volatility like we are in right now to a much larger amount of volatility at some point in the not too distant future. And then we're going to look at a ton of different demographical data and housing market data in the United States to paint a picture about why the next 1 to 2 years really are the perfect storm for an asset class like Bitcoin. We're going to look at the stock market. We're going to look at the housing market. We're going to look at unemployment. We're going to look at the effective federal funds rate and more to paint that picture about why the future of the U.S. economy could be leading people more towards digital currencies and further away from things like the stock market and real estate investing. We're going to talk about all of that and more in today's show, so make sure you smash that like button if you are looking forward to it. We already got 65 likes. Thank you so very much for everyone who has tuned in this morning. Let's see if we can't get up to 200 likes before we dive on into the stream. Going to go ahead and read some green names. By the way, as far as the black screen is concerned, I did figure out the technical difficulty I was running into yesterday. I am going to be implementing a solution for that relatively soon. That was all as intentional. That was not a technical difficulty. There just wasn't a graphic there. So we're going to be working on that. We're going to go ahead and start off by reading some green names and reading some chat, letting a few more people tune in here. We have none other than Green Names. Literally, we have Green Names himself is here. So shout out to Green Names. Thank you for being, well, as your name would say, green. You are a green name. Thank you very much. Also, Crypto Ben Franklin said, good morning, everyone. Let's do this. Green Name says, hi, Jebb. Second one here. Hello, my friend. Let's see. Jeremy Shorter also here said, sup, Jebb, Sarah, and team, question mark. More details hopefully will be coming on that in the future. But for now, Sarah and I are here. Sarah's not on stream right now, but she is doing a little bit of work in the background over there. Crypto Swizz also said Jebb is the GOAT. Thank you. Jojo in chat said, good morning. Crypto Mini Bike. Always love that name. That's a great name. I wonder what, do you have like Bitcoin for the wheels? Like what's going on? How do you have cryptocurrency and a mini bike? I'd love to hear some insight on that. Said, good morning, everyone. Grand Roofing Incorporated said, good morning, everyone. Adam Rourke said, good morning. Jeremy Shorter said, good morning. Crypto Mini Bike. Jeremy Shorter again said, woot to Grand Roofing Incorporated. We got Flair Staking said, let's go. Shout out to you, Mr. Mario. Jeremy Shorter said, at Adam Rourke. Grand Roofing Incorporated again. Got a lot of great names here in chat. Michael Lowry in chat saying good morning. When people saying have a great day all. Already got 300 people watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Michael Lowry in chat. Justin Eubanks in chat. Crypto Mini Bike said the old intro. Yep, it is back. Let's see. Am I missing anyone? Matt C's in chat. Shout out to Matt C. Appreciate you for doing the moderation and for all of your support, my friend. The Coin Father is in chat. First snow was yesterday in Wisconsin. We actually have a guest staying in our house today who is from, actually, I'm not sure if he's from Wisconsin or Michigan, but their families are, his family is from Michigan, and they got 1.5 feet of snow yesterday. I think they're up in the Upper Peninsula. So, yeah, I heard that there was a lot of snow up there. Saw some pictures of that last night, actually. Had some great conversations that way. I'm going to try and pronounce this name. By the way, shout out to a mellow fellow and also Crypto Vet. Good morning, Mr. Vet. Make sure to smash those likes. Here in about 2 minutes, we're going to jump straight on into a bit of a market pulse. We're going to look at CoinMarketCap, look over a couple of news articles, then jump into TA, then news, and then we're going to have a great show. I really want to try and pronounce Xenodermis. I think I got that right. Let me know if I got that right. It said, hey, Jebb, so good to see you here. Good afternoon from Portugal. Shout out to Portugal. Brad Geidel in chat. Good to see you, too. George Maherakis, good, happy to see you back, Jebb. Hello. I really love the game of trying to pronounce names. This is one that I do want to address. Okay, let me go ahead and address this now. And, you know, this is public, so if anybody's asking questions, you can send them this. And there will be more information coming pretty soon. This question is an important one that I've been needing to get to. DW Free said, at Jebb, can you please address Club DeFi and what plans, if you have, for it? I am going to be coming up with a solution to make sure that you guys are being fairly served for your memberships in Club DeFi, probably by the end of today, but at least by the end of tomorrow. You guys will be having information by the end of this week about what it is going to look like moving forward, and I want to make sure that you guys are being treated fairly, so do be looking forward to something by the end of tomorrow on Club DeFi as far as an announcement. Do apologize that I haven't gotten back to the Club DeFi community just yet. Really do apologize for that. It's on me. Got a lot going on right now. No excuses, though, so we will be talking to you guys over in the Club DeFi chat here relatively soon. Luckily, though, the future for Club DeFi looks bright. We might just be going through a little bit of a turbulent period, so do apologize for that. Crypto Sec Guy in chat as well. Guys, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's go ahead and jump on over to some news. We're going to start over here with Walmart. Walmart CTO, crypto will become an important part of how customers transact. Boom, mind blown. I saw this article this morning and I read that headline. I said, wait a second, so you're telling me one of the largest companies on planet Earth is talking about how crypto is going to become an important part of how customers transact. How is that not the biggest headline in cryptocurrency right now? As you guys know, about a year ago, Walmart started filing different patents and trademarks. Actually, it was mainly trademarks, I believe, in the direction of getting involved in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. They were really starting to show a lot of interest that way because if you don't know, there's this general zeitgeist in the e-commerce space where Walmart is realizing, wow, a lot of people are buying a lot of the kind of stuff that you buy at Walmart online. So Walmart has been going through a transition over the last several years of really becoming a major online e-commerce giant to try and compete with Amazon. And Amazon has really had a big leg up over there because they've got a $3 trillion distribution network, whereas Amazon does not, as of yet anyway, have that kind of infrastructure to back up its e-commerce platform. So it's been looking for other ways to really push forward in the technological and online space. And one of the ways that it's been looking for is none other than Bitcoin. Walmart made headlines late last year when the company sought several new trademarks that signaled its intent to make and sell virtual goods in the metaverse. Now the retail giant's global chief technology officer says crypto transactions will be right in the middle of its digital strategy moving forward. Just going to read kind of straight through some of this because it's really very straight to the point. Speaking of Yahoo Finance All Summit video above, Suresh Kumar said he envisions a future where digital assets, and that is their global chief technology officer is who we're referring to, said he envisions a future where digital assets will be used both in Walmart's online stores and in the virtual world. Crypto will become an important part of how customers transact. Wow. Wow. He goes on to say this. We want to make sure that we make it as friction-free for customers so that they are able to drive value out of it. That vision reflects an increased emphasis on the development of emerging technologies at the Bentonville, Arkansas-based retail giant since Kumar took the helm as the company's first CTO back in 2019. In 3 years on the job, he's built out a team of 20,000 workers globally and another 5,000 tech workers in open tech hubs established in Atlanta and Toronto. Last thing we'll read here out of this article, and then we'll talk about it. Speculation has swirled around Walmart's crypto ambition since the company filed 7 separate trademark applications with the U.S. PTO in December 2021, indicating a desire to sell virtual goods, including electronics, appliances, and personal care products. It also expressed an intent to offer users of virtual currency, including NFTs. So very soon you may have your own Walmart NFT. Save money, live better, buy our NFTs. I guess that will be their motto for that. Everybody's launching NFTs nowadays, and great technology, so it makes sense. It's no wonder why that is the case. I guess we'll have to put a Walmart NFT up there with the little star logo right behind me. I don't know. We'll see what happens that way. I'll believe it when I see it. Walmart giving out its selling its own NFT. Really would be interesting what they would be trying to do with that. Just a lot of speculation going on about what a Walmart-based NFT, what a Walmart-based virtual currency would look like. But what I'm super excited about is that Walmart is one of the largest e-commerce websites on the entire planet. And if Walmart adopts Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for its online retail space, as their global CTO is saying they want to, let's just back up for a second. I've been in crypto for over 5 years now. Here in November 16th, actually, this channel will be turning 5 years old. When I got into cryptocurrency, Walmart getting involved in Bitcoin, yeah, the 7-Eleven on the corner of 6th and 16th getting an ATM was the big news globally. That's what was huge when I got into the space. And now we're just oh yeah, this is back of the newspaper news. We got Walmart adopting Bitcoin here, hopefully in the next few years. Coming back to reality and coming back to today, though, the thing that's really interesting here is that if Walmart does go through this process of adopting Bitcoin in a major way, Amazon, your move. What are they going to do? Really would be surprised if Walmart went through with adopting Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and Amazon didn't do the same. From that point, you have the two largest e-commerce platforms on the entire planet utilizing Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as one of their payment methods. You also have Visa and MasterCard that are working very closely, which we talked about on yesterday's show. MasterCard yesterday announcing they're going to be using Paxos to integrate with banks so that there can be bank and cryptocurrency virtual payments through their systems. That is a massive step forward. When you have Amazon, MasterCard, Visa, Walmart, all of these different companies probably at some point in the next 3 to 5 years adopting crypto in a major way, then the dominoes start falling. When does Apple adopt Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? When does Meta adopt Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? Do they manage to adopt it before they go bankrupt? There are a lot of questions here, and those questions are going to have answers that are eventually going to lead back to bullishness for Bitcoin. So very exciting story here. Doesn't necessarily have any implication today, but it does paint this narrative of the next 3 to 5 years looking ridiculously bullish for Bitcoin, and that's kind of the theme of today's show. I'm going to be showing you a plethora of different reasons why the next really 12 to 24 months, but especially the next 3 to 5 years are looking remarkable for Bitcoin. And if you're invested now, you are going to see some absolutely crazy returns, and I'm excited to share them with you. Let's go ahead and move on to one other article here before we jump into our technical analysis. Coinbase threatens to sue traders who profited from a pricing glitch. So essentially what happened here is that we saw that that Coinbase over in the Republic of Georgia had a price discrepancy between what the currency of Georgia, their native currency, the lari, was worth and what it was trading as worth on Coinbase. On August 29th, about 1,000 Coinbase users in the country straddling Europe and Asia exploited the arbitrage opportunity when the lari, the local currency, was priced at $290 rather than $2.90 for about 6 hours on Coinbase. The group constitutes only 0.001% of the U.S.-based company's users. The glitch was a fault of a third party, Coinbase told CoinDesk then, without identifying the company. As such, and this is really important here, as such, the incident illustrates a long-standing concern of financial regulators, the risks posed by institutions using external partnerships. This is a step kind of in the wrong direction for major institutions like Coinbase trying to convince regulators in the United States and the European Union that they are in fact going to be able to have business that is done sustainably and in a way that does not end up getting their customers in trouble. Because now what's going on is that Coinbase is threatening these users. When everything is done within a bank, we know exactly how the account. Let's jump down here anyway. The amount of money Coinbase lost on the Georgia snafu, which the company refused to disclose, was, according to a spokesperson, immaterial. Nevertheless, and this is a quote, Coinbase is working with law firm Nivedazi. I don't know. Somebody here's from Georgia, and I'm gonna get flack for that one. And partners. Now, I can pronounce that. I can pronounce and partners. To assist in retrieving the improperly credited funds, a Coinbase spokesperson told CoinDesk in a written statement. This is really the kicker right here. We cannot comment on the status of specific demands or litigations, the company representative said. However, users that return the improperly credited funds will not be subject to further legal proceedings. So, if you used Coinbase's platform, using the functionality that they had. Unfortunately, you may have to be giving in to demands, and you may be subject to further legal proceedings unless you bend the knee. Now, at the end of the day, this was not supposed to happen, so I understand them saying, hey, we want that money back that you really should not have had because that was a glitch. It was our fault. However, I would ask the question, what do you think the community is going to say when you're talking about demands and litigations and further legal proceedings? I understand that the people that profited off of this made money in a way that they theoretically, technically shouldn't have, but just maybe you could be a little more gentle with the community there. Coinbase maybe could have been just a little bit more gentle in that case. We're going to go ahead and run through CoinMarketCap and give you a little bit of an update on a token that I haven't had time to look into myself, but that you might be interested in. And if you guys are interested in it, I will look into it more. We're going to go ahead and jump on over to CoinMarketCap. As you guys can see, Bitcoin trading at $19,650. Just give it a refresh real quick. $19,586. We are up 2.5% in the last 7 days. Traded sideways last 24 hours. Pretty much everything is moving sideways. You can even see over here on Bitcoin, we are moving straight sideways. That's exactly what we're doing. We're moving pretty much straight to the right. We're moving up a little bit, moving down a little bit. Of course, we saw that we had the CPI data come out here, and we saw Bitcoin dropped, and then it rallied, and then it went right back to where it started. In theory, we have an inverse head and shoulders pattern here. In theory, that inverse head and shoulders pattern has a neckline right there with a price target that would point us all the way up here to $20,285. To be quite honest with you, I don't put a lot of stock in that idea. But the good thing is, right now, Bitcoin is in a flag pattern. It is in an ascending flag right here. We have this market flagging out like this in a bull flag, and then we also have the flagpole right here that we could use to extrapolate, and that would be pointing us up here to about $20,000. And if that happens, that would be very interesting because remember, Bitcoin right now is in this descending triangle pattern that has been in over the last several months, going back to the beginning of June, with this descending level of resistance right here, this flat level of support right there. And this plays into what we're going to be talking about on the shorter term side of things today. Right now, we have a major decision point forming on Bitcoin. Are we going to see a breakup or a breakdown? Hopefully, we see the market move to the upside, even though it's called a breakup. That's actually what we want to see. We want to see it break to the upside. But as I've told you before, guys, I really am more in the camp of the bears on the short-term time frame. If you didn't watch yesterday's show, you got to go back and watch it. I detailed how we're 537 days as of yesterday, so now we're 536 days from the halving on Bitcoin. Right around this time, historically, at this time before the next halving event, Bitcoin is traditionally going through a 50% drop. We've not seen that yet. But in history, we've seen Bitcoin drop 85% from all-time high, and it ended that drop with a 50% drop. Right now, we're 75% from all-time high. We would need a 50% drop to fill that 85% drop trend that we've seen take place over the last two bear market cycles that led into major explosive bull markets about a year and a half later. So my theory of what is going to happen here remains pretty consistent. I think unless we have some major bullish news, which quite frankly, there's not a lot of on the horizon right now, unfortunately. We're probably going to have a break to the downside. So I wouldn't put too much stock in that short-term bull flag because it does go contrary to this longer-term narrative of, well, Bitcoin is really having a bit of a hard time continuing to move to the upside with these lower highs. But one of the last things I want to talk about here, guys, is this project that a lot of people have been talking about. I personally haven't had a lot of time to look into it, but you guys seem to be interested in it. It's called Aptos over at Aptos Labs over on Twitter. Join Twitter February 2022. We even have the website up over here, aptoslabs.com/community. Like I said, I don't as of yet know hardly anything about this project, but I'm interested in looking more into it because you guys seem to be quite interested in it. Let me know if you would be interested in me doing some more research on this token and on this project. It as of yet has not even launched. You can go over here and you can see Aptos. Actually, this is literally just updated. There's some more information here. But no, actually, there we go. You can see there's no actual market data available over on CoinMarketCap, although it is listed here with ticker APT. So if you're interested in more information on that, let me know. And tell me what you think is going on with Aptos down in the chat. Love to hear your opinion on what's going on over there. I'm going to read chat here for a little bit, and then we're going to jump on into some more in-depth Bitcoin technical analysis. Then we'll read chat again, and then we'll jump into some data revolving around the U.S. housing market, the U.S. stock market, the effective federal funds rate, what the next 12 to 24 months look like, and why 3 to 5 years from now, if you bought Bitcoin today, you're probably going to be very glad that you did. If you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button. We got 265 likes. Let's see if we can't get to 500 likes here very, very soon. If you're excited for Walmart stepping into Bitcoin, Amazon potentially stepping into Bitcoin, massive demographical changes happening in the United States that are going to lead to adoption on Bitcoin, hit that like button because that's what we're bringing you content on today. Going to scroll up and see if we have any super chats. I know that there was one. Neil Melker. Hey, shout out to Neil Melker. Good to see you, my friend. Donated $5. No message, but just wanted to donate that and said, ha ha ha. Thank you very much. Flair Staking said, I'm so pumped. Gogo CJC said, good morning, Massey. Good morning to him, indeed. Brad Geidel in chat. Everybody say hi to Brad. I wish I lived closer, not just for the nice weather, but what I could do, I could help out. Crypto Ben Franklin saying, you're killing it, Jebb. I missed the intro song. It really gets me pumped up for the day. Man, I love that song. That's been the song of this channel for a very, very long time. Interesting story. Story time. Let me just tell you where that song came from. Real good feeling. If you don't know, it actually came from, drumroll please, PewDiePie's wedding. If you guys know who PewDiePie is, in fact, PewDiePie's made a lot of songs with Party in the Backyard, and Party in the Backyard actually commented on stream one time saying they want to do a rap with me. So if you want to see me work with the music producers that PewDiePie works with, let me know, because I have an open invitation that I'm thinking about taking up. So let me know on that. Would love your opinion there. But nevertheless, he got married, of course, 2.5 years ago. People called it the royal wedding of YouTube. And in that video was the song Real Good Feeling, and I fell in love with that song. That video is awesome. Shout out to PewDiePie and Martia. I believe they've done incredible things here on the platform. Make sure to go and check out that video if you want to see where I originally got the idea from that song for. Went and licensed it the same day, and then was very glad I did. Anyway, we're going to go here for a couple more minutes just interacting with you guys. Veronica Gainey said, happy Tuesday, Jebb. Happy Tuesday, Veronica. Do appreciate everybody tuning in. Mitch Shaw in chat. Let me try and catch up here. Make sure I get everybody a shout out who hasn't had one yet. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's see. Martine Siebels. Good to see you. Crypto Alchemist. Good to see you. Let's see here. Yes, a Jebb crypto rap. Would love to hear what you guys think on that. Looks like we got a man named Greg Griziziak. No, I'm joking. Sorry, Greg. I had to do you that way. Greg's our sales manager, so shout out to Greg in chat. Let's see here. Blaine said, glad to be here, Jebb. Yes, a crypto Jebb rap. Let me know what you guys think. I'm just saying, I have an open invitation from one of the most famous music producers in YouTube, and I'm definitely thinking about taking them up on it. Kasha Katz is in chat. Shout out to you, Kasha. And then we got Tristan Williams in chat. Nice to see you, Jebb. Mrs. Jebb. Yeah, Sarah is in office today. If you don't know, and you might be able to hear it in the sound of my voice, I am sick, and so is my wife, and so is my son. But by the grace of God, I still have my voice, and I'm still able to talk. And while I have a brutal headache right now, I'm still here bringing you guys content. And I got my coffee. If you guys don't have your coffee, make sure to bottoms up some, because we're about to dive into some technical analysis. Love me some coffee. All right, guys. We are going to go ahead and jump in to Bitcoin TA. I'm very excited for it. As you guys know, we already have this kind of overarching idea of what's going on in Bitcoin and crypto. And by the way, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. Thank you so very much to the 700 people who were tuning in live today. Got some great content lined up for you. Guys, just want to give a brief review for anybody who didn't see yesterday's stream. I talked about on yesterday's stream this theory that I have about the distance that we are from the next halving. The next halving is slated to happen on April 6th, 2024. That may move a day or two here and there based on block time variability, but in general, we're going to see the next halving event on Bitcoin, reducing block reward from 6.25 Bitcoin to 3.125 Bitcoin around April 6th, 2024. If we realize that that's 537 days away from yesterday, it's 536 days away today, and we look at these last, where we were at that point in the halving cycle, during the last two halving cycles, you can see we're in the middle of a 50% drop this time, back here in December of 2018. Same thing was true. It had just happened back here in December of 2014, where we had seen a 56% drop in 35 days. Both of these were 30-day, 50% drops. We are at that exact point right now. So if we do see a 30 to 60 day 50% drop, I want you to know it's not something to be surprised by. It's something that you, as viewers of this channel, should be expecting is a possibility. I'd love to say that it's not a possibility. I'd love to say that it's not going to happen. I would love to say that the bottom is in, because when we believe, truly, technically, based on the evidence that the bottom is in, we can breathe a sigh of relief because it's all uphill from there. I cannot say that with confidence right now. I cannot say with confidence that the bottom is in, and there's a lot of reasons for that. If we look over here at one of my favorite technical indicators, none other than Lux Algo, you can see one of the reasons why I am not all too confident. There is, as of yet, not a buy signal on Lux Algo. If we look here on the weekly chart, I'll actually go to a different chart just so it's a little bit cleaner here. Let's go ahead and remove the drawings. You can see that we're pretty much right here in the market cycles for Lux Algo, basically, on the last market cycles. Let me go ahead and remove some of the bands. Going to go ahead and turn off reversal zones right now. Don't need those. Lux Algo, as you guys know, is my favorite technical indicator in the entire space. I mean, I'm not even joking. I love this indicator. If you guys don't have it, you need to get it. Use coupon code Jebb, J-E-B-B, for 20% off at checkout. Link in description box down below. We saw on the weekly chart a buy signal flash at the very beginning of the bull market. I mean, the very beginning of the bull market here in October 2015. This was an incredible buy signal. We didn't actually have confirmation until over here in May of 2016, but we had a pretty good feeling. Now, Lux Algo didn't actually exist back then, so we're looking at historical data, but it's not like Lux Algo was set up in such a way to make it work back in the historical data. It just back extrapolating, doing the calculations on this chart back then, it would have called this. We see that this buy signal came into effect right here, and if Lux Algo had have existed back then and Lux Algo was being used by a trader, you would have had good reason to believe we were going into a bull market pretty much at the exact moment that it started. And if you don't realize that's the very exact moment that it started, looking on the daily chart, one of the major confirmations that you have that the bull market was starting around that time was the fact that we had the 50 moving average crossing above the 200 moving average October 27th of 2015. I have talked about that cross and how it was the beginning of the 2016-17 bull market for the better part of a decade, of half a decade now, and that is one of the things that I want to point out here is that moving average, and that this is something, guys, I've only been using Lux Algo for a year and a half. I've been looking at how the 2016-17 bull market started for over 5 years, and what I found is that very end of October 2015, very beginning of November is when the bull market started. Lux Algo called it on pretty much the exact same candlestick. You can see the buy signal right there. Moving forward, you can see this buy signal right over here. It came in April 29th territory, end of April territory, 2019. And if we look at another one of our indications as to whether or not a bull market is starting, which is the 50 crossing above the 200, boom, it's at the exact same point. I mean, it's sitting here on April 24th, 2019, whereas Lux Algo buy signal came in literally within 5 days of that. And if we're looking at a historical time frame on the weekly chart, coming in within a week or two of the same time signals a lot of confirmation. So why do I bring up Lux Algo? Guys, first of all, if you don't have Lux Algo, you're missing out big time. It's an incredible technical indicator. But the big part of the reason why I bring it up is because when we saw these buy signals, like this one right here and this one right here, it pretty much signaled that the bottom was in. It pretty much signaled that we were beginning the uptrend. And notice, both of these buy signals took place after the major drop, after that 50% drop that we talked about. In fact, it happened, let's say, about 6 months later. The buy signal came in about 6 months later. Here, the buy signal came in almost a year later. So what I'm seeing, guys, is that based on what we talked about yesterday, and based on Lux Algo, and based on some more of the data that we're looking at right now, I really want to see Lux Algo flash a buy signal before I say, off to the races. Now, there are a ton of technical indicators that I have shown you guys over the years that determine when a bull market is starting in Bitcoin. We got the 50 crossing the 200. We got Lux Algo. We have MACD on the weekly chart. We have RSI on the weekly chart. I mean, there's so many of them. There's like 15 different ones that I've taught. I can't even name every single one off the top of my head. But there's so many indications for when a bull market is starting, and not one of them is flashed. But there is reason to believe there could be a major drop before that flashes. So what's the point? Number one, don't be surprised if we see another 30, 40, 50% drop before the bottom. It's not the end of the world. In fact, that is signaling that the bull market can now start, and you can have a lot of confidence that Bitcoin's not going to drop any further if that happens. Number two, 6 months from now, I think that you will see Bitcoin, at least if it hasn't yet, will be close to having a buy flash on Lux Algo. And remember, 6 months from now will be April of next year. At that point, we are hoping, and this is where I'll start transitioning into a lot of our more macroeconomic and fundamental factors. Hopefully at that point, we will start to see the Federal Reserve starting to taper rates, or at least plateau those rates. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Then you look out 12 to 24 months. You start to see, okay, the halving event's coming up. You look in history. I'll even show you right here just so that you have a visual reference for all of this. If you look into history, Every time that there's been a halving event in the history of Bitcoin, Bitcoin has rallied substantially within 6 months of that halving event. You see 6 months later, after this halving event in, November, I think it was, November of 2012, 6 months later, Bitcoin's up 2,000%. 6 months after this halving event, Bitcoin's up, 135%, ends up rallying 3,000%. 6 months after this halving event, Bitcoin is up 125%, ends up rallying 800%. When we see this halving come into play in 2024, in cooperation with things like a buy signal on Lux Algo's weekly chart, which we should be seeing at some point around that time, in collaboration with hopefully a lot of these fundamental forces I'm going to talk about coming into play, in collaboration with Walmart, hopefully stepping into the space, which will inevitably drag Amazon into the space because they don't want to get left behind. The reason Amazon's so famous and popular is because they got ahead of the curve, not behind it. All of these things coming together indicate you're going to see a perfect storm in 12 to 24 months. That doesn't mean that the next 6 months are going to be pretty, because there could be blood in the streets. I mean, the S&P 500 is down 23%. We've never seen that happen in the history of Bitcoin. We've never seen a global, regional conflict like what we're seeing right now going on in the history of Bitcoin. So those things are having major effects in their own right. But at the end of the day, what we're looking at is the exact same setup that we saw in 2018. I remember, guys. And I called this wrong. I'll admit it. I remember in 2018, and I'm not going to do it again, as far as I don't want to do it again. I remember in 2018, I thought $6,000 were the bottom. And then it dropped to $3,000. And I sat there like, whew, what did I just call? You know that moment when you make a call and you realize, dang, man, I was right. There's always room for, well, we can't predict the future, but ultimately, we do need to lean on as much understanding as we have. Based on everything I can see, I'm not calling a 50% drop, to be clear, but I don't want you guys to be blindsided if it happens, and be prepared to buy up that bottom if it does. So I'm going to go ahead and read chat here for a little bit, and then we are going to dive into some of the news portion of things, because we got the technical side now. We understand why Bitcoin could go through a short-term drop over the next 3 months, down 50%. Ultimately, that would probably be the most that we'd see, down to $9,000 to $10,000. From there, though, we'd probably see a slow trend to the upside over the next 12 months following that, and then we'd see a blast off, hopefully, in 18 months. That's kind of the zoomed out picture technically that we're looking at, but let's also look at it from a fundamental standpoint. Shout out to everybody in chat. Man, so many people in chat bringing so much love. We really appreciate that. By the way, we got 816 people watching, 360 likes. Let's go ahead and pump up the like button. Appreciate all of you in chat. Let's get up to 500 likes relatively soon. Let's get up to 500 likes if you are enjoying today's stream. Not your keys, not your crypto. Yes. Justin Linville said, good to see you back, Jebb. God bless. God bless you, too. Queen said, hashtag FinSov. Shout out to Queen. And the Bedrock. Blaine said, good to be here, Jebb. Glad you were here. Where's the elusive Mrs. Jebb? She's about 15 feet that way. She's working on some stuff right now. Yes, a Jebb crypto rap. I'm really wondering. I'm really wondering about it, just because I really like the music that Party in the Backyard has made. And if you guys don't know, I really like to sing, and I've always been kind of self-conscious about it, like, oh, I feel like I'm not very good, but my son likes it. I like to sing songs to my son when I'm putting him to sleep. I sang him Fire and Rain by James Taylor last night, and Better Together by Luke Combs. Love singing. He loves it when I sing to him, man. It's just the most cute thing ever. If you guys don't know, I have a 2-year-old. He just turned 2 somewhat recently. Not going to give away his exact birthday, but somewhat recently he turned 2. And funny story, I'll tell you here before we get into the rest of it. He just got off a passy. And so he's been having a hard time with that. Hard time falling asleep. But yeah, he's been doing good. He's gotten a lot better about it. But he's got a cold right now, so he's got a owie belly, as we say. And man, I just love him so much. I can't wait to see him again. He ran up to me after work yesterday and just like, that kind of thing. Any of you guys who are parents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the best thing in the world. I just got the memory on repeat in here of him running up to me and then giving me this giant hug. Anyway, getting a little sentimental. Let's go ahead and read some more green names, and then we'll jump back into it. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. BMG TV, it's a great name, said, Jebb spitting bars faster than a 1-minute chart. Jebb spitting bars. Let's go ahead and put that user in timeout who is spamming. A lot of spam looks like for our mods, anybody who's doing this whole, I'm not even going to say it. You guys know what I'm talking about. We can just put those guys in timeout here. Nice haircut, Jebb. Thank you. I actually need another one, but my wife actually gave me a haircut, so shout out to her. It's been a while. I need a new haircut, so if it looks a little bit crazy up here, that's not her fault. I just need a new haircut. So not from her, you know. It's been about 2 months. All right, guys. So let's see here. Anything last that we need to do? I need a blue. My wife's due date is October 29th, then might not be in chat so much. Tyler Main, I'm really excited for you. We are due in April. If you guys don't know, we are pregnant with a daughter, and we're really, really excited about that. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on here. Hopefully I didn't just blow out your eardrums with that clap. I don't think I did. But I want to go ahead and jump onto a bunch of data. We're going to start right here. Top 100 U.S. housing markets. Got a lot of show lined up for you left, so if you're watching, make sure to hit that like button. Appreciate all of the support. Here's one of the things that I've been wanting to talk to you guys about for a while, and it's none other than the U.S. housing market. If you guys don't know, just a little bit of backstory, my wife and I purchased a home in late May of this year, and we managed to lock in 5 1/8 interest rate, and we're first-time home buyers, so we're really excited about that. Those rates are, as of now, unheard of. A year ago, people were getting much lower rates, and I can even show you the chart because I have it up right here. A year ago, people were getting 2.8 to 3.2% interest rates on their homes. You can see this is the FRED, the Federal Reserve Economic Data.stlouisfed.org. They've got a ton of data over here, a lot of really cool tools. This is one that I like. You can see that interest rates on 30-year fixed-rate mortgages were sitting around 2.8 to 3.2%, depending on your credit score, depending on your status, a first-time home buyer or not, all of that, all of the like, and, of course, the institution that you were getting your home loan from. We ended up buying our home right here in mid-May, and we pretty much were right there in the middle of it. We got 5 1/8. In fact, it was funny. We ended up paying less money for 5 1/8 than 5 1/4. We were originally quoted 5 1/4, and then the agent told us, I can give you 5 1/8, and it actually saves you money. And as far as the closing costs, we were like, yeah, sure, go for it. We love a lower interest rate. And now, interest rates on 30-year fixed mortgages are at average 6.92%. If you guys don't know, if you're buying a $400,000 home, 1% interest rate can make $100 a month difference on the payment. So those interest rates going up like that, having a major impact on housing prices around the country, on the amount of money that people are having to pay to actually buy houses monthly in their mortgage payments around the nation, and is making people a lot more inclined towards renting and maybe even selling their homes because of the price of because of where the price of real estate is right now. Let's give you a bunch of data, and then we're going to tie it all up into a nice, neat bow. One thing I want to show you is this chart right here. This is over on redfin.com. Redfin, Zillow, they kind of do something similar. They're slightly different companies, but you can kind of think of them in the same category as far as tracking home listings and certain price housing trends. You can see over here we have a heat map. High inbound, high outbound. These are people leaving or coming into different states in the United States. You can see California, more than 53,000 people were searching to move out of California state versus into the state. So over 53,000 people more are planning to leave than coming into the state. Up here in New York, 26,000 more people were searching to move out of New York State versus into the state. Florida, our beautiful, wonderful state of Florida that we are based out of. Man, I am so glad to be in Florida for so many reasons. More than 41,000 people were searching to move into Florida, state versus out of the state. You even have down here 10 inbound and outbound metros people are moving into. Sacramento, California. That's an interesting one. That's actually pretty surprising considering California state income taxes. Sacramento, I do believe, has lower municipal taxes, though. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's part of it. Miami, Florida. 8,000 net inflow. Las Vegas, 7,000 net inflow. In fact, I'm surprised these numbers aren't higher than they are. And really the only reason that they're not higher is because this is like a 2-month period. This is a trend that's been going on for the last couple of years, ever since the pandemic hit. Where are people leaving from? Five of the biggest metro areas in the nation, people are leaving right now. And all of them have something in common politically in the leadership, and all of them have something in common tax-wise. We can see the 5 biggest outbound metros in this time period, July of 2022 through September of 2022. This is only 2 months. 2 months. San Francisco is losing 37,800 people. Los Angeles, California, not the county, the city, is losing 33,600 people. In fact, actually, I take that back. This is not the city. This is the metro area is what they're measuring here. New York City, New York, 23,600 people. Boston, Massachusetts, Chicago, Illinois, Louisville, Kentucky, Detroit, Michigan, Denver, Colorado, Seattle, Washington, Minneapolis, Minnesota. All of these are losing massive amounts of population, and they're leaving to different states like Florida. Well, why would they be doing that? Why are they leaving places like California, New York? Why are people uprooting their entire families and moving to different states? That's a big deal. People move for a variety of reasons. They either move to relocate for family, they move to relocate for work, but a lot of times it actually ends up being financial. And one of the big reasons why I believe this is going on has to do with another chart that I'm going to show you. Just take a look at this chart. People are moving to Texas. 13,000 more people moving into Texas. We got 41,000 more people moving into Florida. We got 8,000 more people moving into Tennessee. We got 6,000 more people moving into Washington State. Some of these are the biggest no-tax states for state income tax in the nation. We have, and by the way, you're probably wondering, Jebb, how in the world does this apply to crypto? We're going to get to that here in a minute. We got no state income tax in Washington, Wyoming, South Dakota. There's no data in that website for both of these, but Nevada, Texas, Tennessee, and Florida. Why is that important? Well, if you look, people are moving to Texas. People are moving to Nevada. Big time. A lot of Californians are moving to Nevada right now because of the different kind of legislation, tax structures, etc. A lot of people moving to Florida. A lot of people moving to Tennessee. A lot of people moving to Washington. People are moving, and let's just call a cow, or I guess in this case, a donkey and an elephant, a donkey and an elephant. People are moving from Democratic states to Republican states. And a lot of the reason for that is because we've seen massive moves towards big government in the last 2 years, especially following the pandemic. Now, that's been a trend going on for 150 years, but especially in the last 2 years, there's been a major trend for big government to try and tell people how they live their lives. And some states, however, have not been doing that. Florida, for example, is trying anyway. It's not exactly a small government state, but it's a smaller government state than other states like New York or California. So you have a lot of people moving to these states. I mean, we just saw a horrible hurricane come through Florida that a lot of people are like, gosh, I don't know if I want to live in this area. And people are still moving in despite the threat of that. You know, I've lived in Florida for 13 years. I love Florida. It's a beautiful state. But people aren't coming here for the beaches. They're coming here for the taxes. They're coming here for the economics. And again, you're wondering, how is this all applying into cryptocurrency? I'm going to get to that here in just a second, but let me give you some more data. I also want to show you U.S. real GDP quarter over quarter. You can see that we saw a negative 1.6% quarter one GDP in 2022, negative 0.6% quarter two GDP in 2022. Just wanted to remind you about that. We also have the fact that we have the effective federal funds rate currently sitting at 3%, 3 to 3.25%. And if we look at the projection, we're looking at almost certainly a 75 basis point rate hike right now. If you combine all of that with a look at the U.S. stock market, you see that the U.S. stock market is down. Just on the SPY, for example, the SPY down 24%. That's one of the largest drops that we've seen in a very long time. Combine that with the fact that you have conflict going on in Ukraine, you have global food shortages, you have still 2 years later chip supply chain management concerns regarding chip manufacturing. You have supply chain management concerns regarding just the extraction of raw resources. There is so much going on right now that is making the traditional markets unstable. And what's one of the biggest accusations that people level against Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is unstable. Its market is volatile. Well, you want to see a volatile market? Let me go ahead and show you this market. This is the top 100 housing markets in the United States. This is Orlando, Florida. This is pretty close to my neck of the woods, and I can attest to this being pretty much the same trend where we are. You see the median line here, representing the change in the expected price of housing going back to the mid-90s in Orlando. This expected price rallies from $118,000 all the way up to $268,000 with a couple of major bumps. You see during 06 when the market was going parabolic, interest rates were low. We saw a lot of people buying into real estate. People were really getting into that. You had negative amortization going on. You had all kinds of I mean, watch The Big Short if you haven't. We saw that housing prices were massively above what the expectation would be. Huge premium going on here in Orlando, for example. We had a premium of 72% over what you would expect based on the baseline. If you look here, relatively soon thereafter, 2012. We were 32% below the baseline. You were looking at $130,000 for a home. Right now, you're looking at $400,000 when just 2 years ago, you were looking at $256,000. We have seen a 40% appreciation in home prices around the country overnight. But what was driving that? Well, what was driving that was people moving to different states. For one, what was driving that was the inflation. Just drop my chair. Let me fix that. What was driving that was the inflation of the U.S. dollar and that bleeding over into home prices. But now the Federal Reserve wants to fight inflation, and Jerome Powell has come right out and said this. I don't know if I have the article up where he talks about this, but at Jackson Hole, he came pretty much out and said, we are going to continue raising raising the effective federal funds rate until we get inflation under control, and it's going to hurt the economy. So what gives? Well, the point is, we had a pandemic come in. We started printing trillions of dollars. Let me just make this clear to you. Trillions of dollars. We're talking so many dollars that if you had $100 bills and you piled them all up into a pile, it'd be a mountain that you would have to get like ice picks to climb. The human brain cannot even fathom the number $1 trillion. It's ridiculous. $10 trillion or more was printed in the span of a year and a half. The inflation the toll that has taken on the U.S. dollar through inflation has been exorbitant, and the federal federal government realizes that. The Fed realizes that. The Federal Reserve realizes that, and so they're trying to raise interest rates to fight inflation. Now, I would still love a good explanation from somebody about why raising interest rates is actually going to cause inflation to go down. That's a story for another time, but that's how they want to tackle it. It's one of the first times in the last 40 years we've tried to tackle it that way. Maybe we should just stop manipulating our currency to try and pay for the now at the expense of the future, because now the future has come and we're paying for it. So when you see things like the U.S. housing market going on a rally, a lot of times there's a bust cycle. When you start to see the housing market rally the way it has, up 40, 50% from the baseline, not just from prices 5 years ago, you start to ask yourself the question, well, Bitcoin rallied 50%, rallied 2,000%. Then it came down 85%. Like, what are we going to see something similar happening in the U.S. housing market? At the same time, you have people moving all over the country because they're trying to flee these different regulations, the different policies, these different tax implications. And ultimately, my main point here is that you have a lot of uncertainty about what the future holds. You have demographical upheaval going on in the United States, which is directly downstream from monetary policy that the Federal Reserve has put into play to try and fight all of these sweeping reforms and legislations about shutting down the economy for 6 to 12 months. We shut down the economy, and when we did it, I told you on this channel that we were going to pay the consequences, and now those consequences are starting to come. We're seeing that the interest rates continuing to go up. If you're trying to buy a house right now, this is very quickly turned from a buyer's market to a seller's market, because prices are up there, and so are the interest rates. So a lot of people are not interested in buying homes and locking in a 9% interest rate like we're going to see in 4 months. If the Federal Reserve keeps rising to 5%, the banks normally take 3 to 4% margin off on top of that. So if you see 5% effective federal funds rate, you're going to see 9% at the bank for your mortgage. People don't want to buy a house at 9% interest rate, especially when hopefully the Federal Reserve is going to lower that in 3 to 5 years. They'll just rent. And then they'll keep jumping around. This is not even to get into the work culture in the United States of working remote and the impact that that's had on so many companies around the nation. Ultimately, there is a major demographical shift going on in going on in the United States. And through that, you have a lot of people that are pointing the finger at Bitcoin and saying, hey, look, Bitcoin's unstable. What about the effective federal funds rate? What about the inflation of the U.S. dollar? What about the U.S. housing market? What about the fact that we just went into a recession as far as the way that GDP describes it? And everybody's saying, oh, it's not a recession because jobs because there's still a great job market. Nothing makes sense anymore economically. And you know why? Because everything that we're doing economically nowadays from the traditional financial space is built through a Keynesian economic lens of borrowing from the future to pay for today. And it doesn't work. It does not work, period. We have so many examples throughout history where nations and empires, tribes and villages have tried to do the exact same thing with their currency that we just did 2 years ago. Borrow from the future to pay for today. We took out debt to the tune of $10 trillion from the next 20 years of taxpayers to pay for 1 year of shutting down the economy. And so now we're paying those consequences. And those consequences are going to be far-reaching. They already have been, and they're going to continue that way. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like. We don't know exactly what is going to happen over the next 5 to 10 years as the effects of this massive upheaval in global economic monetary policy that took place in 2020. But what I can tell you is that the argument of, well, Bitcoin's unstable is looking a whole lot less important right now when the entire global economy looks unstable, because the thing that Bitcoin has that these monetary policy experts on Capitol Hill and in the European Union all around the world has that they don't is very simple. Bitcoin does not change its inflation its inflation policy. It doesn't do it. It goes through halvings every 4 years on a predictable way. We will know how much Bitcoin there is in circulation 100 years from now today. We will know what Bitcoin circulating supply will look like 100 years from now today, at least how much is created. Now, there's some that will be lost, and there will be a deflationary aspect to that, and that can't be fully predicted. But we can predict how much Bitcoin is going to be added into the ecosystem for the rest of the time, for the rest of the next 118 years that Bitcoin is going to be mined. You cannot predict what the next 6 months are going to look like with the Federal Reserve. Jerome Powell can't do that. The best he can give us is, yeah, we're just going to keep raising interest rates until we balance out inflation. So my question for you is that if you're trying to build long-term stability into your financial picture, do you want to do that mainly through a market that doesn't have a whole lot of stability in its policy, or do you want to do that in a market like Bitcoin that has a lot of stability in its policy? Because people say that, oh, the stock market's stable because it goes up and to the right 9 out of 10 years. And Bitcoin's unstable because half of the years it's going down. Yeah, but what about the underlying policy that drives those markets? Was the stock market not extremely volatile when it was much younger? Yeah, it was. Are young companies not extremely volatile when they've not had a 20-year, 30-year track record? Yes. Is Bitcoin only 13 years old and still managed to be worth $350 billion even when the market is going through a massive reset because the people on Capitol Hill and at the Federal Reserve screwed up the economy? Yes, Bitcoin is doing phenomenally well. Despite all of that, the industry is continuing to grow. The number of people coming into the space, albeit, has slowed down for the time being, but that's going to change. And so my point here is that there is a big shift going on in the United States, and based on how that plays out over the next couple of years, people are going to realize, wow, when we follow the Federal Reserve and their monetary policy, our U.S. dollars end up being worth at least 8% less year over year than they were last year. We talked about inflation on Friday. And then they're going to look at Bitcoin and say, oh, wow, inflation, the thing that actually drives long-term depreciation of the currency value, does not have that property. In fact, it has the opposite property where it preserves value into the future because of its limited supply that's hard-coded into SHA-256 that cannot be hacked or broken. If you're invested in Bitcoin, these things should excite you for the future of the price of Bitcoin. And again, my outlook is the next 3 to 5 years going to be remarkable for Bitcoin. Next 6 months, we may see a major drop, but starting in 12 to 24 months, I think we're going to see a big uptick moving on into the next halving. So we're going to go ahead and wrap out the show here in about 9 minutes, but before that, we are going to read some chat. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. The classic IT guy, welcome to Jebb Padawan. Welcome as a Jebb Padawan. We really appreciate you guys who have signed up as members. Really, really do appreciate that. By the way, thank you for 500 likes. You got 503 likes, 900 people watching. Let's see if we can't get all the way back up there. By the way, guys, before I read chat, I do just want to give you a little bit of a shout out. I do just want to give a little bit of a shout out to one of our sponsors of this channel, none other than MEXC. If you guys are not familiar with MEXC, you absolutely need to get familiar with them. As you guys know, we have a global audience. We have subscribers in over 50 countries. And for our global audience, if you are looking to get involved in all kinds of services, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency related, we're talking trading, liquidity, we're talking Ethereum 2.0 staking, we've got all kinds of things going on over here, then I highly encourage you to check out MEXC. In fact, you can get a $25 USDT airdrop and entry into a $1,000 giveaway exclusively for depositing under our campaign, Coffee and Crypto. During the event period, only users who register with MEXC through the unique page will be eligible for that bonus, so click on the button below to create an account and join this campaign. Get a $25 airdrop and enter to win a $1,000 giveaway. You can see MEXC over here has a ton of features. You can get involved in cryptocurrency through peer-to-peer trading. You can buy and sell Bitcoin and crypto. You can also trade Bitcoin spot and margin. There's also quantitative trading. This is pretty interesting. You can see futures over here. You've got your futures right here. You've got your different earn functionalities. You've got staking, Ethereum 2.0 staking. You've got MX Burn right here. This is something that we'll definitely have to look into more in the future. So guys, make sure that you check out MEXC to get involved with all of these different promotions and all of these different giveaways and all of their different features and their cryptocurrency trading platform. Today, you're going to be very glad that you did. Check them out. MEXC, link in the description box down below. But let's go ahead and read some chat. I hope I haven't missed any super chats. I don't have anyone to log super chats today. So, oh, wait, here we go. Silvadala gave a member chat. Said, Jebb, welcome back, brother. Happy to have you back. Been here since sub 50,000 subs. Most genuine crypto bro out there. That's what I'm trying to be. That's what I want. So I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Let's see here. Got a ton of people in chat. Jeff Sullivan said, love the show again, Jebb. Welcome back, Jebb. Man, I'm excited to be here. Excited to be here. Love to be here. Let's see. What are the best 4 cryptos to invest in until the start of December? A Miney B said. First, best 4 cryptos to invest till the start of December. Well, here's the deal. It's never really as simple as these are the best cryptocurrencies. Now, people try and make it out to be that way, but ultimately the thing that I believe investing in is my education, in my spiritual walk, in relationships, in my life. Sorry, I'm getting a little stuffed up here. It's not a super emotional question, just, I got a cold. Sorry about that. But ultimately, the thing that I think is more valuable than looking at specific projects, although there is value in that, is asking how are we going to look at these specific projects. The thing that I really want to hone in on is not the what, but the how. What I want you guys to do is look at the white papers. I want you guys to look at the use case. I want you to look at these projects as companies. Do they have a use case? Do they have a customer base? Do they have a real-world problem that they are solving? If that is true, it could be worth investing in. As far as some of my favorite cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin all the way. Love Bitcoin. Not a maxi, but it's definitely the first cryptocurrency and the biggest cryptocurrency for a reason. Love Ethereum. Ethereum 2.0 went really well. We finally actually got that launched. Cardano, massive fan of Cardano. I think it's got great technology. I think it's hugely undervalued. In the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be worth over $10. I definitely think that's going to happen. Avalanche, great platform for splitting up transactions across multiple chains. Incredibly fast transaction times. Chainlink helps to link different chains. It's an Oracle platform, helps with that. Polygon, great project in its own right. Binance, I'm not the biggest fan of investing in a cryptocurrency that is built around a company. I know that sounds like it contradicts what I just said, but it's not really, because Binance token is not the actual functionality. Binance, the exchange, is. So there's a little bit of a difference there, but Binance does have a bright future, and it's attached to one of the biggest names in crypto. Polkadot, incredible layer 0 protocol, just most everything in the top 10. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Solana, but pretty much everything in the top 10, great investment. And hey, look, guys, after Bitcoin goes on a massive tear, then USDT or USDC can be a pretty good investment to cash out those profits. So definitely a lot to think there. Let's see. Mitch Shaw said, at Jebb Club DeFi update, there will be one coming in the next, by the end of tomorrow, hopefully today, but there will be some information coming out for Club DeFi relatively soon. Definitely need to make sure you guys are being taken care of. It's very, very important to me. Appreciate your patience. You've already had a lot of it, and I just appreciate the continued patience. Let's see. We got 4 minutes. Let's see what we got. Any questions you guys have for me, now is the time. So go ahead and let me know. Jeff Sullivan said, love the show again. Welcome back, Jebb. I think I may have read that one, but thank you, Jeff. Let's see. Guys, I just really want to thank all of you for your continued support over the years and over this last little while. Really appreciate all of you, and just very thankful to the Lord for everything he's doing for us. Let's see here. Miguel Costa said, hey, Jebb, nice to see you back. Thoughts on Phantasma Soul? Haven't looked into it, but yeah, don't really have a whole lot to tell you there, but appreciate the chat. Let's see. The debt market is the driver of the stock market, Queen said. Yeah, that really is. There's a lot of truth to that statement. Let's see. Invest in your education, Queen said. Absolutely. Let's see here. Jebb is back. I am back. I'm here. Jebb, how long have you been back? I've been back since Thursday. Membership stream? We will try to do that. I'll have to check the calendar and see when that's supposed to be slated. Keep It Coming said, hi, Jebb. Hello. Let's see. Tell something about Doge and Shiba Inu. Not a fan. I understand community in cryptocurrency is incredibly important. We have a community that I'm very thankful of. But ultimately, I don't think that's worth the billions of dollars that those cryptocurrencies are worth. Johnny Crypto. Shout out to Johnny Crypto. Good to see you guys. Make sure to go subscribe to him. He said, Jebb. Hello. Hello. Is the Huddle Trophy still a thing? It is. I will be working on bringing that back as soon as I can. A lot of things to get in line right now. Let's see here. Will you switch back to Crypto Jebb branding? Most likely. We're going to see on that. we are going to see on that. We got a couple minutes here, so let's see what else we got in chat. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in and just being so faithful. Oh, man. Guys, I'm just really excited to be here, and I'm really looking forward to what the future brings. And I know you guys have a lot of questions. Those questions are going to be answered to the best of my ability coming up pretty soon. I mean, there's some things that, everything. Anyway, there's going to be announcements coming out. Let's see. Bradley Boyko said, awesome, thank you. Thoughts on scale networks? Not familiar with it. Colin McDonald said, banks in most markets are way over leveraged. That's the truth. That's absolutely the truth. That is absolutely the truth. Well, guys, we don't have any other questions. Low on ADA during bear market? Yeah, I think that ADA is very low, and I think it's going to be very, very, it's going to be very good. Glad you're back and you sound healthy. I'm very blessed, but I am also sick. Guys, the grace of the Lord is on me right now as far as this, because I've been sick for 3 days now, and it has yet to really, I keep doing that and dropping my chair. It has yet to really affect my voice. So I'm able to do this. My throat's getting a little raspy. I would not be surprised if my throat got a little raspy relatively soon. CT2A still working. Question from Dan Kulani. I will check into that and make sure that you guys are updated on that. Like I said, there's a lot of things that have kind of fallen through the cracks right now. I'm doing everything I can to maintain all of the company commitments, but I do need to get back to you guys on that. Everything, it will be put back together if it's not right now, but everything should be good there. I'm going to check into that. Wesley Wolf said, good to see you, Jebb. Thank you. Alrighty, guys. Well, really excited for today's stream. Really excited for the rest of the week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And make sure to follow us on all of our social medias. You can find the links for all of them in the description box down below. Make sure to sign up for Lux Algo. Guys, it's buy signal coming up in the next 6 months or so. Hopefully sooner than that. But whenever it does happen on the weekly chart, I will be the first one to tell you about it here on Crypto Jebb, because that buy signal is going to tell us that the bull market is coming, and we are really, really excited for that. Also, make sure to check out MEXC Global with the link in the description box down below. Incredible exchange. Definitely wouldn't want you guys to miss out on your opportunities to work with them over there. Make sure... I said I hadn't lost my voice. Sorry about that. Make sure to check out that subscribe button and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell and stay tuned, because 10 a.m. Eastern, we bring you coffee and crypto, and I cannot wait for it. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.